people, Satnam, it's me, Shakti Sundari, and just been prompted to make this little live stream this morning on the topic of how can I have tantric sex? So I'm making this live stream because somebody asked me this question the other day, and probably a lot of people want to ask this question and might be a little bit shy to ask it. Well, I think it's a great question to ask, and I'm really happy to give my answer to this question. So, in a roundabout way, so my first answer to this question, how can I have tantric sex, would be why? Why do you want to have tantric sex? And not to be facetious, but just to kind of get a sense of where you're at and what it is you expect, and what this actually means to you, like what your goal is, what your intention is, what your understanding is. Because you see, because of the way that sex and sexuality has been so distorted and misrepresented for thousands of years, when we use the word sex and we use the word tantra, there's a lot of misunderstanding out there. So basically, tantra is a path of self-realization, and it's also a path of the union of opposites. And in their ultimate expression, the two opposites that we are working with primarily are masculine and feminine, which is not synonymous with man and woman. Although women tend to have more feminine and men tend to have more masculine, we all have a balance of both. And this practice and this pathway is about the union of those two opposite energies and principles within ourselves. So this is what this practice is first and foremost. It's a practice of non-duality and spiritual awakening that integrates all that we are, our body, our mind, our sexuality, our heart, our emotions, every part of us. So that's what Tantra is. And there is a misconception that it's just about having sex in lots of positions, and it's not. So, given that that is what Tantra is, it's a path of spiritual awakening, it's a path of self-realization that doesn't require a partner. So you can perfectly well be a tantrika and practice tantric sex with yourself, as well as with another or many others. So it doesn't require you to have a partner. I just want to say that. But given that that's what it is, this pathway and this practice, because there are specific practices, there are specific rituals that can be a part of this way of life, you will be confronted with everything within yourself that stands in the way of that unification within your own being. You will be confronted with everything within yourself that stands in the way of true unconditional love. And so people might come asking about, how do I have tantric sex? Not realizing that if you really want to go down this route, you will be confronted with your shadows. You will be confronted with your wounding. You will be confronted with all the things that your ego does to block you from recognizing who and what you truly are, the one with source, right? So it's a path of growth and it's a path of awareness. So that's why I ask at the beginning, why do you want to do it? What's your intention? What's sparking your interest? So just know that given that it is going to bring up all of these aspects, as well as, of course, new levels of pleasure, new levels of intimacy, new levels of experiencing yourself as one with the all, and new ways of experiencing orgasm, to the extent that, again, ultimately it's not about the sex, it's about making love with life. And I know that if you're not doing this at the moment or living this way at the moment, that will sound like words and it might not mean anything to you, but ultimately there is the potential to be living ecstatically, to be living orgasmically, to be feeling the making love of the masculine and feminine principles within your own being all the time, and to be able to rest in that exquisite divine bliss, simply, which is your true nature. So there is this as the potential. Given that it's going to bring up your shit, my next question to you would be, if you are talking about and reducing this vast practice and this vast pathway down to sex in terms of making love and interacting intimately, physically, with penetration and so on and so forth with another, then my next question would be, okay, so who is this partner that you want to partner with? Do you feel safe with them? Do you trust them? Do you feel safe that if something comes up for you, a deep emotion, which can easily get triggered when we're going into tantric practice, that yes, you can hold yourself in that, but do you feel safe to reveal your vulnerability to this other person? Do you feel that you can honor them as the divine and that they will honor you as the divine? Because if you're really going into this practice, this is what we're invited to truly recognize the body and our sexuality as a gateway to the divine. So I would want to know, who is it with? And make sure you feel safe, make sure you feel trusted, make sure you know how to hold your boundaries, and that you're not going to enter into anything that doesn't feel right in your body. Okay, next part of my answer would be, there's two ways. Of course, there's infinite ways. This is just kind of condensing everything down to kind of a nutshell. If I'm really honest, I would say that one of the most profound experiences of sexual lovemaking I've ever had is with a man who had absolutely no knowledge, training, or experience in tantric practice. However, what both of us brought to that relating and to that intimacy was deep and profound devotion and love. And that was all that was required for that physical intimacy to take us both into realms beyond anything we had ever known before. So you don't need to have all these techniques and all of these things really to experience that again. If we are able to just let go into the flow of our energy and into presence and into loving and really making love through our bodies with devotion, it takes care of itself. However, there's another part to this answer that I will also give, and that is this. There are some foundations that I have found really essential to building this sensitivity, to building this awareness, and to building this understanding of Tantra as a making love with life, and then bringing that into any physical intimacy that I do have, where the experience is vastly enhanced. So it's not just about a very, very localized genital experience. It is about an energy exchange. It's about whole body energy experience. It's about whole body pleasure for both parties. So the foundations for that, again, sorry if this sounds really boring to you, but this is what's required. Do you meditate? Tantra is about the blending of meditation and love, or the blending of meditation and energy, or the blending of stillness and movement. These are what the masculine and feminine principles represent. So if you already have a meditation practice which enables you to access deep stillness and deep peace and deep no mind state, you're partway there. If you haven't, start now. You might not see the connection at the moment, but the deeper you're able to go into connection with stillness and with presence and a way of stilling the mind so that you stay here now and you're not tripping off into thoughts and fantasies of past or future, the better your lovemaking will become. How about your breathing? Do you practice long, slow, deep breathing? Are you aware of how your breath flows through your body? Are you able to slow your breathing? Do you know different breathing techniques? Breath, body and mind are all connected. Breath is a tool that we use to deepen sensation, to deepen presence, and to deepen our awareness of the physical body. And there are different breathing techniques that we can use to harmonize with our partners when we're making love. So, meditation and breath. I'm going to speak of 4 points. Third point is your body. Are you in connection with your body? Can you feel and sense every part of your body? Again, for many people, there's a complete disconnect between mind and body, or sexuality and heart. So or numbing out in different parts of the body, and particularly for men and women, there's a lot of numbing around the genital area due to past trauma or shame. If there's any kind of numbing or disconnect from the body, your capacity for pleasure, self-awareness and connection will be diminished. So practices to get into the body, to feel and sense the body, and to build up your sensitivity are required. That's part of the tantric pathway also. And anything you can do, whether it's dance, yoga, tai chi, any kind of conscious movement practice, is going to support you in that. Massage, self-pleasuring, to begin to reconnect. Okay, fourth point is energy. We're all energy. Life is energy. Shakti, the feminine, is energy. And this experience of life in the tantric way and or of making love is about energy and consciousness. So again, another part of this is beginning to expand your awareness to the visceral experience that you're not just dense matter, that you begin to cultivate an awareness of the energy in and around you and your energy system. So again, yoga, meditation, any practice that draws your awareness to energy in and around the body, the energy circuits, I won't go into detail about that, is going to add to your experience. And those are the basics, those are the foundations. It's not something where you're going to be able to learn a technique and go boom, 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 there's a big orgasm, here we go. This is the linear thinking of the patriarchal way, and Tantra is about making love and living without that directive goal. It's about relaxing into this moment and allowing life energy to express itself purely through you, through that no mind space. So it's not so much about do A, do B, do C, do D, and then G is going to happen, although the G spot's a great place to know about. That's it. Over and out. I hope that's been useful. If you've got any questions, post them below. Really happy to answer. I don't look at the comments as I'm speaking because I want to stay focused on what I'm saying. Thank you for watching. Sat Nam. And much love.